Welcome to the Spiritually Empowered Podcast, your virtual sanctuary for soul growth, spiritual healing, divine purpose, and conscious manifestation. Together we'll explore mysticism and magic, Buddhist and yogic teachings for inner liberation, shamanic energy medicine, psychic development, and tools to wield your power and protect your energy during this time of global awakening. I'm Ashley Coleman, ordained shamanic minister, advanced energy medicine practitioner, spiritual teacher, and devoted student of life's deepest mysteries. I'm here to help you alchemize ancient soul wounds, reclaim your power, and rise into your sacred calling to bring healing to this world in a way that only you can. I'm so honored to be here with you. Let's dive in. One of the most common struggles for empathic and spiritual souls is addiction and also codependency in romantic relationships. In this video, I'm going to break down why that is, and if you resonate with having these struggles, or maybe you had them in the past, how to understand this and how to really re-own your power as a spiritual soul on this planet today. Welcome to the Mystic's Path Mystery School. I am Reverend Ashley, your spiritual teacher and friend and fellow mystic on the journey of self-actualization. This weekly show is here to give you interfaith teachings that will empower your life. I am all about making the mystical practical. So if you are into that, go ahead and subscribe and connect with me in the comments. I love to hear from you and support you on the path. I am a sensitive spiritual soul, and I really struggled with addiction. I had a 7-year addiction to pot. I was not a light user, and I also really struggled with codependency in relationships. And before I had my spiritual awakening, I really was in it. I was in the toxic world of codependency. My definition of codependency is making somebody or something else your source when God is meant to be your source. I was so ill at the time, many years ago, that my partner at the time would say, I'm leaving, I'm moving, I'm going away, and I would throw up. I would get physically ill because I was so blended with him. And I was so blended with my drug of choice. And I've worked in the field of addiction for almost a decade now, and I have done countless groups and workshops with people right off the streets in early recovery. And I have seen something that I call the hole in the soul. And that is before somebody's spiritual awakening, they really are, and even after sometimes too, they really are sensitive and intelligent and spiritual, and they are hungry for something. They are hungry. And it's not a hunger on the physical level. My hunger was at the center of my soul. And I could never get high enough, and I could never experience enough love from this toxic relationship needed in order to fill the hole in the soul. And people who struggle with addiction know this, that it was enough maybe for the first time you used it, or a week, maybe a month if you're lucky, but the feeling goes away. And we are left with the same ache that we began with. And the ache just gets bigger. In Buddhism, this is called tanha, craving. And it's the root of suffering in Buddhism, craving. It's a fire. The more you feed it, the more you smoke, the more you shop, whatever it is, it only gets bigger. The craving gets bigger. And in this episode, I am going to help you awaken out of the craving alongside you. I'm here with you on the journey. And every time I share this and teach this, I get healed a little more as well. So think about the feeling of grasping and craving. I have to have this. I am lack. I'm coming from lack. I'm not coming from overflow and desire. It's this ache, this void, this emptiness. And I want to tell you straight up, that emptiness can only be filled by your creator. Call it what you will, your higher power, the source of love, Yeshua, Brahman in Hinduism, the Tao, whatever you call it. That ache in your soul can only be filled by that which never left you. Rumi, the Sufi mystic, says, what you are looking for is closer than the big vein on your neck. And spiritual people come into this world of duality. We feel the disharmonious energies on the planet, and we feel crushed under duality. So many of us right now, with the evil in the world and the darkness and the pain that we know is coming up finally to be healed. We know this. You know this. It has to come up to be exercised out. We have to shine the light on it, and that's what's happening. I always say, what's being revealed isn't new. It's been under the surface, and as within, so without. That means what's happening in the collective, in the astrology, in the sky, and in the larger society is happening in you. Your wounds are being unearthed. Your voids, the places where you need God, but you're filling it with something else, it's being exposed. And I am with you on the path of healing, and it's freaking hard sometimes. But that aching place in you, you cannot fill it with love. You cannot fill it with food. It is a hunger for God. And the mystics of old say, what you are hungry for never left. The root underneath of the suffering, which is called tanha in Buddhism, is avidya, ignorance, forgetfulness, amnesia, wrong perception. Enlightenment is to think properly. Enlightenment is to see properly, which means to see your true nature, which means to have the experience of who you are. And we go to sleep just to wake up over and over and over again. Oh, I was in the haunted house in my mind. Oh, I was craving and I was filling it with something else. I wanted more likes on Instagram and I realized I was hungry and I'm wanting to fill it. I wake up again and I go to the one place that can satiate me, and that is God, and that is in the body. Wherever you find God, I pray that it draws you deeper into yourself. And this is the lost teachings of the feminine gospel, the gospel of Mary Magdalene, if we want to look at ancient Christianities before the canonized Bible. These teachings were left out. The teachings of the indwelling presence of God, that God meets you in your pain, that the divine of your own understanding is inside the world that is temporary. That you don't have to wait until some afterlife to have the bliss of your remembrance. You can wake up now, just the way things are, just the way you are. The teachings that were purposefully not canonized, not included, deemed heretical, buried, hidden, destroyed. These were the texts of an inner salvation, gnosis, awakening inside your body, in the imperfection of what you are right now, in your human and in your divine. The Gospel of Mary Magdalene says, we are human and divine, and everyone has inherent goodness, and there is no sin. She asks Christ, what is sin? Christ says something like, paraphrased, it doesn't exist. Sin is created by you humans when you misunderstand. Eastern traditions say the same thing. When you misunderstand who you are. And traditionally, one way to remember is to sit in your silence. Because the world is a distraction sometimes. It can pull us out of who we are. If you don't connect with who you are, you will be told who you are. If you wake up and wait for the world to tell you how to feel, you're in a tornado. You're living in reaction, not response. Your superpower is your inner listening. God dwells in you now. And I would say that is what you are hungry for. Beyond survival, if you have money to survive, because money does make things better when you don't have it, right? But beyond the abundance of what you have, what you deeply want, and don't take my word for it, what you deeply want is to remember who you are. We are trained like cattle to have fulfillment in a world that was never coded to fulfill us. We are trained and programmed to forget. And we live in a benevolent, God-serving world in so many ways. I know it doesn't seem that way. Love has already won. That's just fact. Love is bigger than fear. That's fact. That is not a theory. That is fact. Love is greater than fear. We can study emotions in the auric field, and fear, which is where all of these disturbances and distortions of power come from. Fear is a collapsed state, and it makes people primal, and it makes them fight, and it makes them hoard. Love, who you are, your essential self. By the way, people have to literally fight to stay in the lower chakras because God wants us to awaken so much. The angels are descending so much that it's literally harder to not wake up right now. It's becoming harder to stay asleep. Let me know if you feel that. Drop a heart below. Put your voice in this room, in this community. You belong here. I want to hear you. Take up space. This is for us, the mystics, the healers. There's a reason why we're so sensitive and we've struggled with addiction and maybe shopping, maybe pot, whatever it is. That ache can be filled right now. One prayer. God, I pray that you fill the hole in my soul. I pray that you come into my heart and you fill me up. I want to get my validation from you, not the world. I want to get my love from you, not the world. I know that I am coded to be filled by you, and I am reaching out. I open myself to you. I make myself available to you. I need you. In the 12 steps, there is the gift of desperation. When you stop white knuckling and willing your way and controlling, and if I just get one more like, and if I just make this amount of money, when you let that go, and often that letting go comes right after peak pain. Peak climactic emotional pain, where you realize that you've been feeding on something that never made you full. And there is a well that never runs dry. And it is your home, and it is where you belong. And we are passengers on this planet, and we get to belong here alongside the birds and the trees. And this is why I love shamanism, because we're not just passengers, but we are human flesh, just like the earth. We are the trees and the air and the fire and the wind. We are one with this world, just like we're one with the spirit world, heaven, whatever you want to call it. And this is what the lost gospels, the feminine gospels that were left out of the patriarchal system of organized religion. Not every religion, but organized religion as a whole. They've left out some pieces. And when you study the mystical parts of the traditions, like the Kabbalah, mystic Judaism, mystic Christianity, Sufism, that's Islamic mysticism. When you look at the mystical side, of traditions, which is very shamanic. The awakening comes through direct experience, direct relationship, where you source your source from the inside out, where you approach the altar of God and you say, I am ready. Fill me up. When you ask, it is given. And some of you need to open your mouth and ask God to enter your addiction and heal you. Ask God to enter your relationship patterns and release them. Ask God to remove the partner that's not meant for you. Some of you need to use your voice and ask God, activate God's indwelling presence in your body. Before I pressed record on this, I prayed, God is speaking through me. Help me reach people. Help me affect people positively. Help me spread the healing, the good vibes, the healing wisdom, the medicine. Your voice, as it is written in these texts, commands. So please hear that. Maybe you need to invite God into your struggle. Invite God, whatever you call it, divine love, Yeshua, source, Yahweh. Inviting your higher power into your struggle. Open up that gaping thing and breathe God straight into it. This is the well that never runs dry. And I have been healed of my addiction to pot. I have been healed of my addiction to binge eating. I have been healed of my codependency. I've been sober for a decade. I have a wonderful relationship with food. I have an amazing partnership. I found my future hubby, my soulmate. I'm living in this dream house, and I walked through fire to get here. This is earned. This is earned, and I want to help you get there a little faster and easier, because that's what a healer is. They go down the path, they pave it out, they chop down the trees, they walk down the unknown path, they pave it out, and they serve others. Here's another way. If organized religion is not your way, here's another way. I had no idea there was other things out here until I studied Hinduism and started learning from the Vedanta and the Upanishads and these amazing hymns and poetry of ancient spiritual awakening through the technology of the yogas. I had no idea. And this is an interfaith room. There is so much beauty in organized religion, and there's a shadow. Everything on earth has both positive and negative aspects. In the God within, your soul is all love. And we, just like the Gospel of Mary says, are human and divine. The shamans that I studied with from the high Andes Mountains of Peru say, have a foot in this world and a foot in the spirit world. And that, my love, is the coolest, craziest, most kooky mystery we could ever exist within. And your body, your indwelling essence of God, it's known as the Shekhinah in Jewish mysticism and the Kabbalah, this indwelling presence of God in the rock, in the tree, in the lamp, in everything right here, right now, waiting for you to receive it. And you get to receive it just the way you are, imperfect, inviting this presence alive, sparking that fire, not the fire of tanha or craving, but the fire of holy love that exists in your heart. The eye of your heart is opening now. I declare it to be so. And I invite us all to just take a deep breath and allow that fire of holy love to grow within us, inviting God into our hearts, into our bodies, into our struggles as we breathe. We are both imperfect and perfect, and I invite you so deeply into the essence of what you are. You are both. I love you. I invite you to live from this place every day. Invite the divine into your heart, into your struggles, into everything that you are. Feed from the well that never runs dry. And if you want to study with me deeper about how to use your voice to command the energy of your home, of your body, vocal commands, if you ever have been spooked at night, you need this training. This changed my life. I had a lot of spiritual attacks growing up because I was meant to learn how to use my voice to command energies, to walk in power in the spirit world and in the physical world. I have a free training for you. I will link it below in the description, probably in the comments below as well, the video if you're on YouTube. And it has a morning meditation, an evening meditation to protect your energy, to clear your energy, and a whole PDF training on how to use your voice to command love into the room and to awaken your indwelling presence of the one God. I love you. This was so fun. Let me know how this spoke to you. I am excited to get to know you more, and have an amazing week ahead. See you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you loved this episode, share it with somebody who you really feel would benefit from this message. I'm sending you lots of love, and I'll see you in the next episode.